Hey everybody out there in the land of YouTube, this is Annette Dion. I am the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. Today is Monday, July 18th, 2022. I hope you had a good day and a decent weekend. The moon is in, I haven't checked all day. It's been in Aries all day. So a fiery sign, an energetic sign, a sign of taking initiative. So do all that stuff. Next week we have a new moon coming up that's in the sign of Leo, because we are in the sun in Leo, and be ready for some fiery stuff. Speaking of fiery stuff, the tarmac in the UK is melting, so they can't land the planes. And Joe Manchin in Washington, D.C. is saying no to climate change measures to stop this catastrophe. Like Greta Thunberg would say, the house is on fire. And they're screaming, the house is on fire. And we just keep letting it burn as a human collective. So we're going to take a look at if there's going to be any emergency action taken for climate change. We are in a precarious position on many fronts. We need all hands on deck to save our democracy, and we'll get into that. We also need all hands on deck energetically and intentionally. So every Tuesday, we're doing our part. We have a 20-minute guided meditation. If you want to be part of that and receive the Zoom invite, it's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Just send an email to me, annettedion7@gmail.com, and type 20 in the subject line, which will tell me that I know that you need a Zoom invite for tomorrow night, every single Tuesday. So, as we know, I was with you on Friday, and I was with you on Sunday with Church of Spirituality, and thank you to those who watch Church of Spirituality. The sermons are very apropos to the times that we're in. So if you feel like you want to, lift up the energy, we also do prayers too. So for our country and our world, and it's a lot of good stuff and inspiration, some inspiring quotes and readings. So let's take a look at what's going on. On Friday, we got the news that Ivana Trump passed. I think she had been alone in her home for a few days when she was found by a neighbor. There was no foul play. I know people were just throwing that, theory, conspiracy out around that. Of course, we could make a whole fictional novel about, how that happened, and it was probably she got pushed down the stairs so she couldn't. She wasn't in line to testify for anything with her ex Donald. But I just want you to know about Ivana Trump. I seriously really get that she is going to be a spirit whispering in her children's ears to tell the truth, because honesty is the best policy, and that if they tell the truth on her ex and their father, they'll fare better. And it's kind of, think what you will, but we are a product of the environment that we grew up in, and that's what happened to, the great big grand Cheeto, who's wanting to run for president again. He had a horrible upbringing anyway. So it's not exactly the Trump kids, it's not like they did all this because they were born into a good, healthy family and they just turned. That's, so Ivana knows, witnessed everything that, her ex-husband was all about. And she wants to see to it that her kids rat him out, basically. That's what I got. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at a few cards right now. I mentioned on Friday, a lot of spirits, when they cross over, from the earthly plane, it takes time. I'm just saying that because there's no time on the spiritual plane. So it takes a little time, and then they once they adjust, then they kind of get to work being guides or getting ready for the next incarnation. That's what I get about that. but she just seems like she crossed over and then she got right on it. So we'll see what happens. Steve Bannon today, they were choosing the jury for his trials. If you listen to Andre, he has a YouTube channel. He does see that Bannon has it coming to him, and he's in. I almost said in like Flynn. He's in like Flynn with Trump, and let's just see. Let's take a look at Ivana's influence first. On, of course, the hearings were delayed. I mean, the Trump kids were supposed to testify about Griftco, as we call it, the Grift company, the Trump organization. But then their mom died. I know, it seems strange. It seems very strange, but that was definitely an accident. And on that note, if somebody lives alone, do a wellness check. I've been reading a couple different places how, an article about somebody working at home and they didn't have a lot of contact with the outside world, and, they could just, you know what I'm saying. Ivana Trump. Okay, yeah. See, here's a death card. She transitioned into the spirit world, and she loves her children. Remember, these cards don't really, it doesn't mean lovers like, romantic lovers. This card depicts the loving energy that she had for her children, and here she is. She's whispering in Ivanka's ear. Ivanka's devastated. I mean, losing your mom, devastating. Ivanka is devastated. And I really get the sense of, when you've been sobbing for a long time and you're weak and you're a little lethargic, and Ivanka she's pummeled by this, by losing her mom. Not that the boys aren't, but Eric and Don Jr. Will tend to get inebriated. Eric probably too. I feel like Ivanka is the one that's, just being the female, being the more emotional, is the one that's really been hurt the most, because she's less apt to, drown her sorrows and substances. That was interesting. The death card followed by the lover card. Ivana really, I really get that her children were her life. And she wants them to tell the truth. So we'll see. Now, we know that we've been horrified by even the idea of the orange Cheeto. I just have to call him that today. We are horrified by the concept, when the news was saying that he's probably going to run again, and it just destroyed our confidence. Our confidence in the United States is kind of low right now, and it kind of destroyed that. But let me, rest assured, there's so much happening, and there's so much happening that's incriminating against Donald J. Trump, and he's losing steam. He's not gaining steam. If you think that he's not losing steam, I think he's losing steam. I get that. He's not gaining anything. He's not gaining support right now. So let me just take a look at where his head is at. I think he had rallies over the weekend, but honestly, there's been so much going on. I didn't really check. And on Sunday afternoons, I take a break from the news because we all need a break, and it's just, it's kind of like, and the news channels do take a break too. And then you kind of dive back in on Monday. They take a sort of a break. So this is Donald Trump. He's looking at a lot of problems. Definitely the courts are overflowing with problems for Donald Trump. Six of Pentacles is all the information they have on him on January 6th. As we know, the hearing scheduled for this week is on Thursday evening. If you're in Grassroots of Democracy, we're probably going to postpone the meeting so we can all watch the hearing to discuss later. So more on that. I'll let you know more about that at the end. So the Six of Pentacles is, this is all the evidence. This is about Trump. This is all the evidence overflowing, and the January 6th committee feeling quite confident. And then the the 8 of Pentacles. This is like the energy of the people of the United States feeling like, I actually get a sense of comfort from this, a little bit of reassurance. The hearing on Thursday night is going to be cut and dried, in your face, no contest, no doubt. He planned the insurrection. He planned for people to get killed. He obstructed justice. He got the Secret Service in on it. It's mind-boggling. And we will look at the Secret Service situation. It's just, what a waste of breath to talk about, oh, well, did they or didn't they? Did the Secret Service or did they not? It's a waste of breath. Because they did. Let's just settle it. The Secret Service that were swapping text messages back and forth and then said, oh, we had to upgrade the system. Oh, sorry, we lost our text messages. Try committing a crime and sending text messages back and forth just to your fellow criminals, and try hiding that evidence. Even if your technology got upgraded, a good investigator can just pull it out of the cloud. So for them to pull this crap out of there, you know what, is boggling my brain that they would even think that they could get away with that. So I hate to say, how dumb do they think the American people are, but that's kind of why we're in the mess that we're in. Because there's a lot of dumb people in the United States, and I'm not pointing fingers, and I'm not saying that I'm like smart, but they really think, well, they hope that people are going to buy that. Like, people in law enforcement are going to buy that. So anyway, somebody asked the other night, is the Secret Service going to be indicted? I said yes. I said I see at least 2 people being indicted. I think that was before the text messages. Yeah, actually prior to the text messages being discovered to be deleted, I had said that I saw 2 Secret Service agents testifying, but that was about, let me follow the line here. That was about what Cassidy Hutchinson said happened in the SUV when Trump was in it and went to grab the steering wheel. Try to keep up, people. I know it's not easy. All right, Secret Service. A long time ago, the guides told me the reason all this is coming down and all this is happening, and it's been horrible. I know. We all know it's been horrible. I know you have to take breaks and you have to be kind to yourself and do a lot of self-care. And just so you can come back in the ring and, recharged, fight the battles again. But we had to see how flawed the system is, even the Secret Service. So let's see what's going to happen with that. Remember, Mike Pence wouldn't get in the vehicle because he knew what they were up to. He knew the guys that wanted him to get in the vehicle and to whisk him away so the election didn't get certified. He knew they were going to take him away somewhere, never to return. Or maybe to return, but not to certify the election. Thursday's going to be more bombshells after more bombshells. And I know how frustrated we get that Merrick Garland hasn't said a peep, and how angry we all are about that, and how, I don't know, maybe there's we can look at it. Maybe there's a deal with the local networks that they're just going to kind of string us along. I'm just making that up. It's not true. But to string us along this long is infuriating. Secret Service. Oh, the Secret Service guys that deleted the text messages know all that information is going to be available for the January 6th committee. I'm yelling. I know. I get upset. This is about, these guys are in trouble. They're in big trouble. The Secret Service is supposed to protect the United States. Unbelievable. heads will roll. That's what the guides are saying. Heads will roll. They can't get out of this. The Secret Service can't get out of this. I do see people behind the scenes at the Secret Service seeing if they can turn some favors, or, you know, they're doing a Donald Trump. They're in trouble. They're trying to call in some favors. It's so awful. Temperance, it's going to be a balancing act for the Secret Service. They're going to be like, well, yeah, they're going to tell half-truths, but the half-truths are going to point to the real truth. In other words, sometimes somebody can say something, and from that you can pretty much extract the truth because it's too incriminating what they say. I see a lot of that. And the Queen of Cups, that's somebody on the January 6th committee. I know, I'm not sure. I thought maybe it was Adam Kinzinger on Thursday who is going to be the one that speaks the most, but I'm seeing the female. I don't remember her name. Anyway, the female, I don't remember her name. Anyway, I think it starts with an L, her last name. You guys will tell me, and I can find out easily enough. So, yeah, they're very, very, very determined. And this represents also, this is representing the woman on the January 6th committee who's going to be speaking on Thursday also, in addition to Adam Kinzinger. But this represents Cassidy Hutchinson too. So some of her testimony is going to play a role, besides what she already said about the Secret Service, is going to also play a role in the text messages. So it's possible that the Secret Service people that are being indicted or, you know, testifying, it's possible that they are connected to the ones that were in the SUV when Trump tried to, you know, like bully them into driving him to the Capitol so he could finish the job. I know. You know, if you knew how many times a day, maybe this is true for you, that I'm just like, I cannot believe this is happening in the United States of America. At least 5 times a day. Probably more. Breathe. The other night on Friday night, we were all throwing out suggestions about how to relax. It was pretty good, actually. If you want to go back, if you can call up the live chat. There was some good suggestions. Friday night. That Friday night live thing might turn into a thing, because we have so much fun. And Wednesday, we're doing the Corey thing again. But the following Wednesday, he's out of town, so I'm going to do a channeling session. It's going to be people in history, so not like your grandma, unless she was an historic figure. So okay, that's January 6th. Let's take a look at what's going down for Steve Bannon. Oh, he's such a disgusting human. He's a rat. The guy's just, sorry, I got a little like, because the guides just showed me a rat that was like all matted and stinky. I read energy. That's Steve Bannon. I don't know if I can go there. You can do it, Annette. You can do it. I'll make it quick. Steve Bannon. Makes me nauseous. Just, you know what? If it's any consolation, because I think that it is. We're all good people here, right? Unless there's a troll or two. We're all good people here, right? Be grateful that you don't have it in you to be such a heinous human being for whom only bad things are coming. And that includes, you know, that dude in Russia. So, here we go. And we'll get to that too. I mean, that's another thing that's on everybody's mind. What the Putin is still at it. It boggles our brains. Steve Bannon. It's a win for the United States. He has secrets, but they're going to be revealed. This is a jail card. This is a high priestess's secrets, but I kind of feel like this is more of secrets of the evidence against him. He's in big trouble. The wheel of fortune is turning in our favor. And the guys just said he's going to be the first big arrest and criminal in prison. He was before. Till he got pardoned by the head honcho criminal, the mob boss. Now, I'm going to take a look again at the big Cheeto. The big Cheeto who wants to be the big cheese. So I do subscribe to Rolling Stone online. Apparently, there's an article, and I will read it, that says, and we know that this is true anyway, but it's all that more fascinating when it's documented. And the facts are there to prove it. Everybody take this in and pray for the people that actually think that man should be in the White House again. The only reason he has any interest in running, I mean, I hate to even say it, but anyway, the only reason that he would be flirting with the idea of attempting to get back in the White House is because he wouldn't be as much of a target to be held accountable for his crimes. Which, if that's a law, that needs to change right away. My pendulum is in the other room. I apologize. I don't really need it. Pretty sure it's in the other room. It's probably time for a new one. There's a pagan day coming up, Lammas, and I think I'll get some new pendulums then. It's a good thing to shoot for. Okay, so we're looking at Trump. We're just going to look at Trump. Like, what's the deal? What's the deal? The women are going to get him. The women are going to get him. The women are going to get Trump. I think Ivanka's included in that, but this is more about Fani Willis and Letitia James. And this is a card of celebration. Everybody, hold on. Hold on. Distract yourself. Don't get too don't think about it too much that he hasn't been indicted yet. Just don't think about it too much. I've gotten into a new practice of if something, here's for example, if I hear one more person on the news like MSNBC say, well, you know, gas prices are up, so people are going to vote for Republicans, I turn it right off because it's such a ridiculous statement to make. And it's such a terrible thing to put extra energy into. If people are that dumb that they would vote for a fascist because they don't like the price of gas, when it's obviously the universe's way of showing us we need to get off fossil fuels. The freaking tarmacs in the UK are melting, so they can't fly the planes because they can't land the planes on melting tarmac. So don't anybody tell me that the gas prices are the reason that a Democrat won't be elected. Because if that's the case, we deserve what we get. And now I'm on a rant. So the moon is in Aries, and that would be a little bit, rambunctious. Get my Scorpio up too. All right, next. My glasses were reflecting something blue the other night, so I'm just keeping them on so I don't have to keep. I think it was a light. I can't figure it out. I can't figure out the source. It drives me crazy when I can't figure out the source of a weird sound in the background or a weird light in my glasses, but we'll just go with it. Since I was just talking about the global climate change, I actually cannot fathom. Speaking of recognizing that you're not made of what these horrible humans are made of, and be grateful for that. Joe Manchin, may he rot in hell for not having any concern whatsoever for the world. We are the, pretty much, I think we're number one, the biggest polluter, if we're not, we're in the top 5. The United States, carbon emissions are way up there. And Joe Manchin, what he has put the Democrats through, he is not a Democrat. He's working for big coal and big oil. And if he really wants the planet to burn up even more than it already is, well, he deserves to rot in hell. He does. Let's take a look, shall we? There's a whole lot to be infuriated about. But we'll just keep thinking positive. Oh, 4 cards wanted to come out. 2 of Swords. He's actually hurting. He's actually hurting as a result of having made this decision. And the 2 of Swords is like, he's losing. He's losing friends fast. Joe Manchin is losing friends fast. People are very angry at him. Extremely. He's really sold out. It's like he sold his soul to the devil. Joe Manchin has sold his soul to the devil, and now he's getting the fury of all his constituents and all the people that he works with in Congress, and it's not good. This is Joe Biden pulling through with something. And the Democrats coming up with a, you know, kind of like horseshoeing back and then coming boomeranging back with a different plan where something will get done about the global climate change. But we don't need this delay. We do not need this delay. Europe is burning up. And isn't it every summer? There's wildfires here, there's wildfires there. The sequoias, I don't know how you say that. The big trees in the northwest burning up. We need trees, people. We need trees to breathe. So let's sort of change tracks here just for a moment. I know that this is a really hard thing to look at. The Uvalde, the shooting. From the beginning, I felt a connection to racism. It is astounding. Not any specifics on that. It's astounding. 400 law enforcement officers on the scene. The kind of stuff that's happening is smacking us upside the head because we need to wake up. There needs to be a ban on all assault weapons. There's no reason that there shouldn't be. No reason whatsoever. So I had said that I saw racism. I had said that I saw people being forced to step down. The police chief was forced to step down. I hope he's fired. I think he's been forced to be on a hiatus. I don't know how he lives with himself. I don't know how these people live with themselves. And interestingly enough, I haven't heard much from Governor Fascist Abbott, who's just allowing Texas to have these rolling brownouts, or, you know, you can only run your appliances at certain times of the day. Texas being, they used to just boast the best energy in the country, the energy state. Abbott's been a little quiet, hasn't he? Let's take a look at what's going on with Abbott, because in connection with Uvalde, that's what I'm going to look at. And you know what? Remember when Beto got up there and he started yelling at him? We need to see more of that. We need to see more of that. So this is about Abbott. It's coming at him. This is coming at him. Abbott is... There's a connection to Abbott with the Uvalde thing. I'm not sure what it is yet. Maybe we'll get to it. Maybe we'll find it. Justice is coming for Abbott. Abbott broke the law in some way, or broke the protocol. He didn't follow the protocol. There was racism involved, even if it was just subliminal. I'm telling you, if it was in a rich white neighborhood, it might have turned out differently. I get psychically it would have turned out differently. This is despicable. We're not caring about our children. The emperor means, I really see this as Beto O'Rourke. I see Beto getting a lot of support to oust Abbott. I really do. I see him getting a lot of support to oust Abbott. So let's see. Oh, and these cards flipped over. Yeah, people are, and actually, the Six of Cups, that indicates that the guides are saying that Abbott was connected to people that were in the January 6th insurrection. I'm making the connection to Russia and weapons. That's all I can say about that. This is, there's a lot of evidence against Abbott right now. Somebody in a very high position in Texas is going to be ousted. Who would that be? The guide said some kind of attorney general is going to be ousted in Texas. We have the whole mess with the abortion bans in Texas. It's just like it's dominoes, one thing after another. Let's see what's going to happen to law enforcement in Texas. Now, keep in mind, I had said this at the very beginning. The reason the police didn't go in was because they were out-weaponed. They were no contest for an AR-15, even if they had AR-15s.